There's a moment, perhaps quiet and fleeting, perhaps loud like thunder, when a human soul begins to sense that the way they've been taught to see the world may not be the truth. We're told to believe in separation, that our bodies are isolated vessels, that what happens out there is disconnected from what we feel in here, that life is random, reactive, and mostly out of our control. But what if all of that, every single assumption, is a beautiful illusion? A story we inherited, never questioned, and built our lives upon. Quantum healing begins at the edge of this illusion. It begins the moment we ask, what if the way I experience my body, my relationships, and even my limitations is not fixed, but fluid, energetic, alive? We are energy. Not metaphorically, literally. Every cell, thought, emotion, and organ is made of vibrating particles, orchestrated into form by unseen fields of information. You are not just a person in a body. You are a field within a field, dancing with every other field in existence. This is not spiritual fluff. It's the language of quantum physics, translated not for laboratories but for lives. But here's the twist. Most people live as if they're a rock in the river, rather than the current itself. We move through life thinking our circumstances are happening to us, not from us. But at the quantum level, the observer affects the observed. Meaning, the way you look at the world shapes what the world becomes. Let that land for a second. Your perception carries creative power. Why is this so hard to believe? Because we've been conditioned to doubt our power. From childhood, we were told who we were allowed to be. We were rewarded for compliance and punished for deviation, and slowly we began to shrink, to contort, to abandon the truth of our limitless, vibrating essence, and accept a muted identity in exchange for acceptance. And yet, your energy never forgot. It pulses underneath your thoughts, your behaviors, your self-doubt. The quantum field doesn't care if you believe in it. It responds to your frequency, not your words. So even when you speak affirmations, if your underlying emotion is fear, scarcity, or unworthiness, the field listens to that. This is why so many people say, I tried to change, but nothing worked. Because they tried to think differently while feeling the same. But thought is only one piece. True healing, quantum healing, begins in the subtle vibration underneath your thoughts. It's about resonance, about becoming an energetic match to the life you long for. Let me ask you this. Where in your life are you still chasing something you don't believe you deserve? The quantum field is not a genie. It's not a vending machine. It's an intelligent mirror. When you radiate unworthiness, it reflects experiences to affirm it. When you tune into gratitude, trust, and coherence, it organizes reality to mirror that frequency. You are never being punished. You are being answered. And this is the radical, beautiful, often uncomfortable truth of quantum healing. Your life is not happening to you. It's happening through you. Your energy, your emotions, your beliefs, they are signals, and the universe is listening, not to your surface intentions, but to the energy beneath them. If that's true, then healing is not about fixing something broken. It's about remembering something whole. It's about peeling away everything that was never you. The trauma, the programming, the fear, and letting your original frequency re-emerge. And when it does, your reality will begin to shift. Not because you forced it, but because you became it. Let that sit with you. Because the old paradigm says, see it to believe it. But quantum healing whispers, believe it, and you will begin to see it. If everything is energy, then you are not just a body, you are a field. And that field is not isolated. It is in constant dialogue with a universal intelligence that responds, reflects, and reconfigures according to what you emit. This invisible web of information, often called the quantum field, is not distant. It is within you, flowing through you with every breath. Think of it like music. You are not just playing an instrument. You are the instrument. Your thoughts are the notes. Your emotions are the rhythm. Your intentions are the composition. And the universe? It is the amplifier. It takes what you send out and echoes it into form. When you begin to realize this, something awakens. The notion that you are merely reacting to life begins to crumble. You begin to see that your inner state is not just influencing your reality, it's creating it. Here's a metaphor. Imagine your life as a radio. Most people spend their time fiddling with the speaker, trying to change the output while ignoring the frequency it's tuned to. They want joy, but they're tuned to fear. They want abundance, but they're vibrating lack. They keep trying to fix the symptoms rather than adjust the source. And here's the truth. The quantum field doesn't care what you want. It only responds to what you are. So, how does this actually work? Your brain emits measurable electromagnetic waves. Your thoughts literally ripple out. Your heart emits an even stronger field. Your emotions carry the charge. When the mind and heart are out of sync, your signal is noisy, incoherent. But when you align your thoughts with elevated emotions, gratitude, love, wholeness, your field becomes clear, powerful, magnetic. This is called coherence. In this state, your nervous system calms, your immune system strengthens, your energy begins to organize in harmony with the vision you hold. You are no longer signaling survival. You are signaling creation. And yes, this has been measured. Countless studies now show how coherent brain-heart states influence physical healing, emotional regulation, and even the unfolding of synchronistic events. But you don't need a lab to prove what your soul already knows. When you feel aligned, things flow. When you feel blocked, things stall. Have you ever noticed how miracles tend to happen not when you're desperate, but when you finally let go? That's not coincidence. That's the field responding to a change in your energy. A woman once told me she tried for years to manifest love. She wrote lists, visualized daily, even candles, but nothing changed. Why? Because beneath it all, she still believed she was unlovable. Her frequency was not one of love, but of longing. It wasn't until she stopped looking outward and began healing the wound within that her reality shifted. Within months, a relationship showed up. Not because she found love, but because she became it. This is not magic. It's physics. The observer effect in quantum mechanics tells us that particles exist in a state of possibility until observed. Your attention literally collapses possibility into form. Where you place your focus, and the emotion behind that focus collapses outcomes into reality. That is not a metaphor. That is how matter behaves. But here's the nuance. You can't fake your frequency. You can't pretend to feel worthy while secretly loathing yourself. The field reads your essence, not your surface. And this is where most people trip up. They try to perform alignment instead of becoming aligned. So ask yourself, what frequency are you living in? What are you broadcasting when no one's watching? Because that signal is your signature. And it's sculpting your life, moment by moment, interaction by interaction. Let's bring this into your daily life. Every time you dwell in fear, rehearse your past, or indulge in self-doubt, you're reinforcing a signal. Not just emotionally, but energetically. And every time you choose presence, gratitude, or courage, you're tuning your field to a new possibility. This is the hidden architecture of reality. Your inner world is not a mirror of your life. Your life is a mirror of your inner world. So, if you want to change your reality, don't chase the mirror. Change the signal. Let this truth settle. You are not a victim of energy. You are a vessel of it, a sculptor of it. And the more aware you become, the more deliberate you become. Healing, then, is not about acquiring something new. It's about removing interference, releasing distortion, and attuning to the field that is already whole, already wise, already waiting for you to remember. Memory is not just stored in the mind, it is imprinted in your energy. Every heartbreak, every betrayal, every belief you swallowed as a child and never questioned, it lives within the vibration of your being. You may not recall all the details, but your energy remembers. It remembers the moment you decided you weren't good enough. It remembers the first time you felt invisible and the way you shrank just to stay safe. And like grooves in a record, these imprints keep playing the same song over and over until you choose to write a new one. Quantum healing is not about forgetting the past. It's about becoming aware of how the past is still playing itself out in your present. And it's about stepping into a level of consciousness where you realize you are not your pain, you are not your pattern. You are the awareness that can rewire the entire system. Let's pause here. Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a loop? Different faces, different places, but the same emotional experience? That's not bad luck. It's an energetic echo, and it's showing you where healing is calling you back to yourself. Here's where quantum meets compassion. Every repetitive pattern in your life is an opportunity, not a punishment, not a flaw, a message. The universe is not trying to hurt you, it's trying to wake you up. And how do you wake up? Not by resisting the pattern, but by seeing it, naming it, feeling it fully, not to drown in it, but to transmute it. Because what you feel, you heal, and what you avoid, you amplify. Here's the shift. Most healing models focus on what happened, but quantum healing asks, what energy did it leave behind? And how can I alchemize that? Let's return to the idea of the quantum field. Remember, it responds to your frequency, not your history. It doesn't care whether your pain is 10 minutes old or 10 years. It only reflects the vibration you're carrying right now. That's the miracle of this work. Your past is not your prison, it's raw material, and you have the ability to transmute it into wisdom, into wholeness, into light. I once worked with a man who carried deep shame from his childhood. His father was emotionally absent, and as a boy he interpreted that absence as, I am unworthy of love. He never spoke those words aloud, but his energy did. In every relationship, he unconsciously attracted partners who abandoned him. Not because he was broken, but because the field was mirroring the belief he hadn't yet seen. When he finally allowed himself to revisit the pain, not with judgment but with presence, something shifted. He didn't try to fix it. He simply felt it, witnessed the child within, offered himself the love his father never could. And in that moment, his frequency changed. Within months, his life began to look different. Not because he changed the world, because he changed the lens through which he received the world. This is quantum healing, becoming aware of the subconscious scripts running the show and choosing to write a new one, not just intellectually, but energetically. So let me ask you, what belief are you still living by that was never yours to carry? Who gave it to you? And are you ready to return it? Because here's the truth. You can't manifest a new life while energetically clinging to the old one. You can't call in abundance while secretly fearing you're not worthy of it. You can't embody love while still vibrating in fear of abandonment. The field will always echo back your dominant signal, not your fantasy. But the moment you see the pattern, not with shame, but with love, you create space. Space to choose again, to tune again, to heal. And healing doesn't mean the past disappears. It means it no longer defines you. It means your nervous system no longer reacts as if the trauma is still happening. It means you reclaim your energy from the stories that kept you small. In quantum terms, every version of you, healed, free, joyful, is already vibrating in the field. You're not trying to become that version. You're aligning with it. And that begins with releasing what no longer resonates. This isn't about pretending the pain wasn't real. It's about realizing that your power is more real, that your presence can hold the pain without becoming it, that you are not the wound, you are the healer. And healing doesn't happen in some future moment. It happens now. In your willingness to feel, to forgive, to free the energy that has been looping for years. You are not your past. You are the one who survived it. And now, you are the one who gets to rewrite it. So what does it actually mean to tune your frequency? We speak often of vibration, of resonance, of shifting into coherence, but these aren't abstract ideas. They are lived experiences, felt not in theory, but in the breath, in the body, in the sacred now. To tune your frequency is to become deeply present. It means choosing, moment by moment, to embody the energy of the future you desire. Now, not waiting for external proof, not requiring the world to change first, but becoming the vibration internally of what you long to see externally. This is the essence of quantum alignment. But here's the paradox. You can't do it as a performance. You can't fake coherence. The field cannot be manipulated by surface-level effort. It responds only to authenticity. And authenticity begins in the silence. Sit with yourself, close your eyes, breathe, and ask, not with your mind, but with your heart, what am I radiating right now? What emotion is shaping my field? Most people never ask that question. They run from feeling to thought to distraction to reaction, all while wondering why their lives feel chaotic, disconnected, or heavy. But energy doesn't lie. And if your inner world is cluttered with resentment, urgency, or fear, then your external world will reflect that clutter in form, in relationship, in health. This is why so many spiritual practices come back to stillness. Because in stillness, you can feel the signal. And from there, you can shift it. One of the most profound shifts you can make is from survival to creation. The survival state, rooted in stress, locks your energy into contraction. Your body becomes hypervigilant, your mind becomes obsessed with control, and your heart closes. You begin to live on autopilot, reacting instead of responding, thinking the same thoughts, feeling the same emotions, making the same choices, and thus creating the same life. But when you begin to create, not from force but from alignment, everything changes. The heart opens, the body relaxes, the nervous system softens, and suddenly space appears where there was once pressure, possibility where there was once predictability. The field begins to respond, not with chaos but with coherence. This isn't wishful thinking, it's energetic truth. In practical terms, you tune your frequency by practicing elevated emotions on purpose. You don't wait for joy to come to you, you become it. You don't wait for external reasons to feel gratitude. You find it now, in the breath, in the beauty, in the miracle of this very moment. It's a decision, not once, but over and over until it becomes your new baseline. That's how you raise your vibration, not by escaping reality, but by meeting it with a different energy, by seeing the same world through new eyes, by choosing to see opportunities instead of obstacles, blessings instead of burdens, lessons instead of punishments. And yes, this takes practice. You will forget, you will fall back into fear, you will be triggered. And that's okay, because every trigger is a teacher, every contraction is a portal, and every time you come back to presence, you deepen your power. You are not here to be perfect. You are here to be awake. So what does it look like, day to day? It looks like noticing when your energy drops and pausing instead of pushing. It looks like starting the morning with intention, not anxiety. It looks like choosing nourishment instead of numbing, like speaking to yourself with compassion instead of criticism, like trusting the vision even when it hasn't yet materialized, because that's where most people quit. In the gap between desire and manifestation. They ask, why isn't it here yet? But the deeper question is, have you become it yet? You're not waiting on the universe. The universe is waiting on your coherence. Coherence means your thoughts, emotions, and actions are all singing the same song. No inner conflict, no double signal, just pure alignment. And in that space, reality begins to move. People call it magic, synchronicity, serendipity, but it's not luck, it's resonance. So tune yourself like an instrument, breathe with intention, feel with courage, think with clarity, and act from love. That is the practice, not once, but daily. Not perfectly, but honestly. And every time you forget, forgive yourself. Because the point is not to stay high vibe all the time. The point is to become so aware of your energy that you can shift it. Not repress it, not shame it, but meet it, feel it, and guide it home. Let me leave you with this. What energy are you committed to embodying, regardless of your circumstances? That commitment is your true power. That commitment is your contribution to the field. You don't need to chase healing, you need only to tune to it. You were never meant to spend your life searching for something outside of you. You are not broken. You are not missing some secret piece. You are not waiting for a guru, a savior, a sign. Because the deepest truth, the one that changes everything, is this: you are the medicine, not the theory of it, the embodiment of it. From the quantum perspective, there is no separation between healer and healed. You do not attract wholeness, you reveal it. You do not create your future, you remember it, because it already exists as a possibility in the field. You are not becoming something new, you are returning to what you've always been, whole, wise, and woven into the fabric of universal intelligence. But to live this truth, you must shed the layers that told you otherwise. The voices that said you were too much or not enough. The programming that made you confuse people-pleasing with love. The beliefs that taught you healing was something you had to earn. Every one of these is a veil, and quantum healing is the gentle, courageous act of removing them. Not all at once, but layer by layer, choice by choice, breath by breath. And when you do, something sacred happens. You stop identifying with your wounds, you stop performing your identity. You stop being the echo of your past and begin channeling the frequency of your future. This is not about striving, it's about surrendering to your own radiance. It means learning to trust your inner guidance more than the external noise. It means allowing your intuition, the whisper that existed before the world told you who to be, to lead again. It means quieting the mind long enough to feel the truth in your body. Because the body is not your enemy. It's your ally, your compass, your signal. Every sensation is information. Every tightness is a message. Every illness is a frequency asking to be seen. When you learn to listen without fear, the body becomes your teacher, not your burden. I once met a woman who had spent her entire life battling anxiety, years of medication, therapy, analysis. But nothing truly shifted until she stopped trying to fix the anxiety and instead asked it what it wanted her to know. What she heard changed her life. You stopped trusting yourself. In that moment, her healing began, not because the anxiety disappeared, but because she stopped being at war with herself. She began to create safety, not through control, but through compassion. She became the source of what she had been seeking. This is the medicine, not escaping your emotions, but meeting them with presence. Not bypassing the shadow, but loving it back into light. Not trying to be spiritual, but remembering you already are. And the moment you stop waiting for healing out there, you reclaim the power that was never lost, only forgotten. You begin to notice the beauty in small things, the synchronicities, the shifts in your body, the way people respond to you differently. Not because the world changed, but because you did. You are now in harmony with the field, and the field, it mirrors you. So let me ask you now, what would it look like to live as if your healing has already occurred? How would you breathe, walk, speak if you knew you were already whole? Not someday, now. Let that version of you be your reference point. Not the one shaped by wounds, but the one shaped by wisdom. The one who doesn't chase energy, but emits it. The one who doesn't beg for love, but embodies it. The one who understands that the more aligned your inner world becomes, the more fluidly your outer world reflects it. You don't need to fight for healing, you need to relax into it. That doesn't mean ignoring your pain, it means holding it differently. It means choosing curiosity over fear. It means waking up each day and asking, what energy am I choosing today? Because choice is power, and every moment you choose alignment, you become more magnetic. Every moment you honor your energy, you become more radiant. Every moment you believe in your worth, not from ego, but from essence, you begin to shape a reality that believes in you too. This is the new paradigm, not healing from separation, but from remembrance. not waiting for miracles, but becoming one. You are the medicine, not just for yourself, but for everyone who meets you. Your energy ripples, your coherence heals, your light invites others to find theirs. So trust the process, trust the field, trust yourself. And next time you look in the mirror, don't ask, "What's wrong with me?" Ask, "What if nothing was ever missing? What if I'm already home?" Because you are. And now, you remember. You've just taken a journey, not just through words but through energy, through remembrance, through possibility. Quantum healing isn't some far-off dream. It is here, now, living in your breath, in your intention, in the space between thought and creation. The tools are not outside of you. The healer is not someone else. The moment of transformation does not belong to the future. It is yours, in this moment, in every moment. You are not here to chase healing. You are here to awaken to the truth that healing was always your natural state. Your energy, when coherent and clear, creates realities that mirror your deepest truth, not your deepest wound. Let that truth anchor you. Let it move through your life like quiet thunder. And now, I invite you to reflect. What energy will you choose to carry into tomorrow? What new reality will you become aligned with, starting today? If this message stirred something in you, share your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe for more writing that calls you back to your power, your presence, and your peace. You are the medicine, and the world is ready for your light.